how's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Inbred from 2011. This is directed by Alex Chandon and stars Jo Hartley, James Doherty, and Seamus O'Neille. This is an Irish slasher movie, and it's also part of the Macabre line, as denoted by this silver band across the top. If you guys collect horror DVDs, you've probably seen a few from Macabre, and I'm pretty sure I got this from Big Lots. Back in the day, Big Lots had quite a few entries in the Macabre line, let me tell you. But overall, this is one that I look at the front cover and I'm like, wow, look at all these wacky and crazy characters. I mean, that guy's got a bucket on his head. I was expecting a fun, energetic Texas Chainsaw Massacre knockoff. And yes, it is a Texas Chainsaw Massacre knockoff, I got that part right, but I did not get the energetic part right. This movie is shockingly slow, shockingly dull, and shockingly boring. Honestly, I really hated watching this one, and I don't like being the angry YouTube critic stereotype, but boy, this is one of the worst movies I've seen in a while that wasn't a blatant factory film cash grab. This was so boring. But I guess before we get ahead of ourselves, what's the movie about? In this movie, you get two guidance counselors, and they're taking 4 juvenile delinquents into the country because I guess just putting them in the country will make them be good? I'm not really sure what the plan is here. They go to an abandoned house, they talk to the locals do that thing where they're like, oh, outsiders, what are you doing here? And then it turns out they're killers, and supposedly also inbred. I'm not sure if that ever really comes up that they're inbred in the movie, but that's the title, so I guess so. But anyway, they will eventually capture our lead characters and put them in a murder circus thing. Yeah, they have a little underground theater, and all of them are going to sit around and watch while the people that run the show are going to murder them in bizarre and horrific ways, and if you can't get out, they're going to kill you. So yeah, a murder circus movie. That sounds like it should be really fun, but it is not. And a large part of that is the distance we have to go before the movie starts to heat up. The movie opens with like the slowest opening credits I've ever seen. Like just generic, dull stock footage of Ireland while everyone's name slowly pops up in lowercase. Like, when it's hard to get through the credits, that's a bad sign. Then they're gonna slowly drive to the cabin. 2 of the kids actually see them murdering someone and just don't care about it for some reason. And then they get to the house and they're like, huh, I guess we're in an abandoned house. Isn't that strange that we didn't know that? Let's do some demolition work to try to refurbish it. I'm sure whoever we're renting from totally won't mind us throwing their stuff away. Yeah, a little weird. Then after that, they take the kids, the juvenile delinquents, some of whom have alcohol problems, down to the pub just to get some lemonade though. And in the pub, they get the whole, what, strangers, what are you doing here? Oh, you're staying in that old house on the side of the road? You know the deal. We've seen this scene before, but here, it drags on longer. And then after that, I guess the production crew found some abandoned trains, so those will be in the movie now. It turns out that under the guise of like skills or something, they're gonna salvage rare metals from a train, but it's really a weird scene where they're teaching the kids how to steal copper, and it takes forever for them to even get to that point. For real, we're mulling about on the bus, we're mulling about in the house, we're mulling about in the pub, the kids shouldn't even be in the pub, and then we're mulling about on these trains. It's like about half the movie where next to nothing is going on, and it's super boring. And when it does start to be entertaining, like, and I use that word loosely, it has a little bit, but there's like maybe 15 minutes of okay entertaining footage. It's still, and maybe I was checked out by this point, it had a few moments, but like you're doing a murder circus, I expect it to be big, over the top, and energetic, and it really was just kind of an okay murder circus. And what does it mean when I say your murder circus is just okay? Yeah, that's not great. And on top of that, the characters are absolutely terrible in this movie. The characters are either dull and forgettable or like super annoying. You know, we have juvenile delinquents in this movie, so two of them are absolutely insufferable. And it's this weird thing where I see in so many UK movies that they just have these absolutely horrible teenagers that show no respect for anybody and just commit crimes just because, and everybody acts like it's a normal thing. How are things over there in the UK? Are you guys all right, or are your kids just stabbing each other? Because let me tell you, the perception you put in your movies is pretty bad. So we have two of the kids that are just absolutely insufferable and I can't stand to watch them. Then the other two are just pieces of wood. One supposedly set afire because he was fed up with the system, and our main girl is the quiet one, which, yeah, don't know anything about her. She's our final girl and I know next to nothing about her. I don't even know why she's in the program. And then you get the counselors, and I guess the counselors are the best because there's a bit of a back and forth between the stuffy one and the one who's trying to kind of reach out to the kids, but again, they're not much of anything. And sadly, that rule of either being boring or annoying also goes into the family. If we're comparing them to the Chainsaw family, most of them are just bad clones of the hitchhiker character. That, or they just are missing half their teeth and staring off into the middle distance. There's no real standouts. I mean, their Leatherface stand-in is just this dork with a chainsaw, and their leader, the guy that runs the pub, I don't know, he's just a country guy who hates outsiders, and halfway through the movie, he's going to put on blackface for some reason. I don't know why he did that. I already wasn't liking the movie very much, but now we're putting this element in. And maybe there might be more with the characters that I was just missing, because most of the lines I could not make out. This movie has super thick Irish accents, and halfway through I gave up and just put on the subtitles, and I would recommend you start with the subtitles because the accents here are way too thick. But one more thing I have to call out is the cinematography. The cinematography is the dreariest thing I've ever seen. Like, just looking at this movie made me feel sad, and I absolutely hated the colors in here, which may be more the part of the colorist than the DP, but it was all gray and washed out, and it was depressing. And like, when you look at what the movie's trying to knock off, Chainsaw, that was gritty and rustic and realistic, and you could feel the dirt. You felt alive. But that was horrific, and depressing are both negative emotions for sure, but I want to make one thing very clear. I'm here for a horror movie. I want fear. That's the attitude I want. I don't want depressing cinematography. It puts a bog on everything. So yeah, basically with this movie is you have to sit through a first half that's super boring. If you can get through the first half, there's scattered okay bits in the second half, but you still have the bad characters and the dreary cinematography, and overall this movie was just pretty boring, and I really did not like this one. But whatever. Better luck next time, am I right? But yeah, don't recommend this one at all, really. Anyway, though, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my slasher movies playlist. We can see me talk about other slasher movies, including some of the Chainsaw films. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very soon. Playlist here. Have a good day now.